We know. This is a trap.
Sit. Done with this technological shit. Done. No. Over. Is it?
Yeah. Why are we getting
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Sound right, boy.
Hi guys, this is Joy, also known as Random Rakit on Instagram. You must have seen me. I make some terrible memes which people seem to love. I'm a writer by day, an overthinker by night, sometimes in the reverse order. And here I am with my friend Shomo. You will know him by Shomo Mandal on Insta. And this is our new podcast. It's called Bun Half Fry. And why we have called it Bun Half Fry, you will get to know soon. And I will take you through it, huh?
I think that was a very drawn out introduction. I don't think people were wasting 3 minutes of their life for that.
Was it too aggressive?
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
No, the whole thing, I thought like I'm doing the podcast. Like I wanted to do the podcast because, because of COVID and all, you might, like people are getting jobless. And, I thought like this is entertaining enough for me, somewhat entertaining for you. And also entertaining for the people. But anyway, so this is Joy. As you know, he's a writer. And he's a pretty good one at that. He writes a lot of ads and makes you people buy his stuff. And
what are you?
I'll get to that because so we are really old friends. My name is Shomo, and I was having a very unconventional profession before. I was in I was in information technology. But yeah, so in that I was working for a talent representation firm in the States, working on sports analytics, basically, very broadly. But anyway, the thing is, we have had a long journey, together in person with each other and also in distance. And we met each other when we were in engineering. And we used to have a lot of conversations, in between classes and during breaks, any time of the day, on the back gate of our university or college. And there is this auntie still who makes amazing killer bun half fries, and for like
she liked you like a son.
But wait. For the more enlightened, I don't know, the posh people, bun half fry is basically, sunny
Bun half fry.
Sunny side up inside the bread. Like we need to explain the
sunny side up.
Yeah.
With 2 breads. That's bun half fry. For those who don't know.
Yeah.
I think most people will know this, but
yeah.
But why we are calling it bun half fry is because of this auntie's Tuffrey. We used to go and have a lot of conversations there.
Mm-hmm.
Spoke about all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Mostly about negative stuff.
Not really.
And we used to have this bun half fry. She used to give us there was a full fry as well. I remember.
Yeah, but I used to just take the bun.
Full fry was like sunny side up, but that yellow part does not come out of the white
my
part.
life was so half-baked at that time that I always preferred things a little raw. So So One Hour Fry was my jam. I think it was yours as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's symbolic of why we have started this podcast, and I mean, there are thousands and millions of podcasts online, and I don't know why you would want to watch us, but hope to keep it real and hope to be funny sometimes, and hope to jar you sometimes, break your minds sometimes, hope to do that. So let's see where we go.
I mean, you just to insert this right here, you don't necessarily need to watch us. As you can see, we have invested a lot on the setup, but you can listen to us.
We have a mic, as you can see. And there are a lot of things behind the camera. There are a lot of things.
2,000 years later.
So here we are, and I don't want to get aggressive, but I will. Throughout this podcast, there will be a lot of aggression shown by me, and I hope that strikes you somewhere and makes you afraid of me. While Shomo here will be providing the light-hearted, the comic relief. Mostly.
Yeah, I think people do prefer aggressive people. Yeah, people do like.
I take charge. I like to take charge.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die.
People like to be submissive in general, so I think it's gonna work very well.
Sure.
Work out very well. So
for all the people who are watching us, the millions of people watching us right now, going live. So what we're going to do is, this is our first one, so we are not going to talk too much, as you can clearly see. We are just going to talk about two small things which we have in our minds right now, and maybe we would have loved to share in our auntie stuffy over one half fry.
Yeah, so basically guys, like nothing is scripted right here. Like as you can see, if it was scripted, then we are really bad at what we do. So it's not scripted. So we just decided on the go. Joy here, he actually stays in Bangalore in India, and I stay in Calcutta. So basically this podcast is going to be happening over video calls virtually. But we took this opportunity because Joy was in town in Calcutta, which is both of our hometown, and we thought we'll shoot an intro and talk about a couple of things, just like freestyle it, and then see where it goes. So one topic that Joy really wanted to talk about is a pretty unpredictable topic. I think people are not very aware of the whole thing that is going on, that you use your phone. There are certain apps. What was that?
So basically, I don't think people are unaware of it. I think people know about it, but it's basically algorithm, right?
No, I was talking about those apps. What are they called? Like something
the apps.
Dating.
Dating apps.
Do people date? Like people date? Are you saying people date through phones and all? Like,
through phones.
Don't they meet people like normally in a room? Like what are you talking about?
I can't believe it. No, so where I started off was dating apps is where I started researching, and I myself have not used dating apps ever. Damn. I have used Shomo on the other end.
This is the first time here. I mean, not the first, but I didn't think like dating apps were like that common, But so
they're
find out.
They're common dating apps, and it's a whole it's a big world out there with dating apps. I mean, it's a crazy world.
I just have like 5 or 6 of them.
That's bullshit. That's
5 or 6 apps I have.
That's certified bullshit.
I am a hunter and she want to see my gun. When I pull it out, boy, the woman start to run.
My phone, which are dating, but what did you find out?
On my right hand side, you see. On my left hand side, I don't know what's the exact how this video.
Whatever it's in
how this video will come out, but the person sitting on my left or right, he's the one who is a prime user of dating apps.
Really?
But the thing is, the point is not that.
Yeah.
the point is, what I had researched was dating apps like Tinder, etc. They are also running on algorithms, just like how if you talk about something and then Facebook gives you the ad of that particular thing. If you're basically that the phones are hearing us. Sometimes though I think of something in my head and I get that. I don't know how that is working out. Maybe that's just that's
whatever you're thinking, Facebook knows.
Yeah, whatever you're thinking, they are almost like reading us. So Tinder. So what I found out was Tinder and other dating apps. I'm not talking about other dating apps right now. I'm just talking about Tinder because whatever I researched was based on Tinder specifically, and Tinder has this rating system as to basis how you like what you click on, what you search for, and what you shop for, what you read, etc. And if Tinder is on your phone, and if you're doing any of those things in any other app on your phone, then Tinder reads that algorithm, okay? And then it creates a rating system for you as an individual. And when you are on Tinder, when you go to Tinder and when you're swiping left and right, people must be thinking, how am I getting those options of those dates, right? How they're getting it is actually how Tinder throws the options of men or options of women, either way, is actually based on that rating system. If you have a rating, like you have a rating of say 3 out of 5, basis what you have clicked on or what you have searched for, etc., elsewhere in some other app or online, basis that you get a rating. Basis that rating, Tinder decides how attractive you are. Now that's fucked up, right?
I mean, to be honest, my background is on analytics. Like I studied analytics in masters, and I do work with patterns, and I have worked with patterns and all, mostly in the marketing and sales area. But it is kind of it is an algorithm which I believe it can happen. Like I do believe, I'm not that naive to believe that big companies are doing social service. They're obviously going to checking out for patterns. But this is very interesting.
Of course.
I didn't know that there was a rating system like this. Where people are basically assigned what I understand weights, and then they're weighted against their interests, and then they're kind of getting matched. Right, that is the thing.
So basically whatever you do online makes you it's an attraction quotient, like emotional quotient or intelligence quotient. It's an attraction quotient which Tinder figures out for you, and it might be getting you as a person completely wrong. You might be a totally different individual actually, as compared to what Tinder has made you out to be. And basis that rating is how Tinder throws up options of your match. Okay, so basically what happens, so basically if you go to revolio.com or if you go to medium.com and search for articles related to Tinder, I don't know I don't remember the exact names of those articles, but they have also done this kind of research and is where my findings and whatever this thing is from. But the thing is, basically this can actually harm your chances of actually finding the right person, or things like those, like whatever.
I agree to a certain extent.
Find the right match.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent that Tinder is basically like exploiting a certain inaccurately exploiting people to have a rating system and then match people. And maybe it's different. But my concern with Tinder, I don't know if you agree with that or not. Like with any dating app or anything, we know that in very simple sense that there's something that our brain secretes, which is dopamine, and we are kind of addicted to that. And as we are millennials, we are a little older, but even the newer generation, even the older generation right now is adapting to the environment where our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, right? Because there's just so many things and we just want to use our fingers on our phones. So the problem that I had with Tinder is it has a very uniquely addictive quality where maybe there are a lot of people that I think I've experienced around me. I was joking earlier when I was talking about dating apps and all, but yeah, so even back in the United States or in India, obviously the behavioral patterns and the cultural backgrounds and everything is different, but one common thing is that there are a lot of people who maybe find it very difficult to be social, or who are in a situation where they are not getting to meet a lot of people on a day-to-day basis. So they get addicted to this whole power of...
But they have to meet that person eventually, right?
No, but I'm saying they are addicted to the whole notion of accepting and rejecting. So basically, when you're talking with someone, like I'm talking to you, okay, I have the power to dismiss you even if you are right. Like basically, there's a kind of dopamine that flows through my mind if I say, oh, you are right, that means, or like, you know, oh, like this is not how it's done or something like that. But Tinder, like when you don't have interaction on a day-to-day basis and you have a 9-to-5 job, then after that you come and you start swiping left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. That's a very addictive thing, in my opinion, and
that
then
can be, yeah.
And it becomes like an addiction. Like whenever you have some downtime, you're like, oh, I should be swiping.
That can be. That's a dangerous addiction. The addiction of love. I'll just get my phone and just get my phone. Just hold on.
Yeah, sure. We do have someone working for us to get phones, but
yeah,
it's not here.
The phone boys. So, just like obviously, I want to hear from you actually these things. Enough about what.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, it was interesting about how the Tinder algorithm works and all, but nothing surprises me or shocks me in terms of big organizations or companies like exploiting patterns. Like that is, I mean, especially companies who are doing well, they're all exploiting patterns in some way or the other. So my whole thing with these dating apps and all that is, personally, I feel like it's got an addictive quality about it, and that is a little concerning. And I think it has done a lot good also. It has brought a lot of people together.
So it's a point-based thing, rather. What I was saying, it's like Black Mirror almost. Those of you who have seen, I think
the show Black Mirror.
Yeah,
it's very depressing.
and especially maybe for you,
it is a depressing show. Yeah.
But especially the episode that is called Nosedive, that has Bryce Dallas Howard.
You know, I've watched that.
The lives of people, the quality of life is decided by how many likes you get every day, right? So there's a thing called a desirability score in Tinder, okay, and everyone has a desirability score. Desirability. It's difficult to pronounce.
Күш кеш көш, кір көр, күл кел көл, кілең қысқа сөз кім оқиды тез. Арқада алтар қар бар, қырқада қырғар қар бар, қырғар қарда ағар қар бар, алтар қарда марқар қар бар. Әбдіреде әбігер әтеш отыр, әбігер әтеш отырған әбдіреде.
Yeah, ours are difficult. Ours are difficult for
desirability.
For Bengalis.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah.
So many years of struggle.
Yeah.
So, desirability score. If you have a desirability score, everyone has one. And if someone swipes on you who has a high desirability score, then you earn points. Then you become more desirable. Okay.
Oh.
And that's the fucked up thing. That's what I said before was the precursor. Okay. That I think all.
But it is not up though, because someone who is very desirable is swiping on you, which implies you are also desirable.
Yeah, but are you? Are you desirable?
Like in terms of superficial stuff? Like not
how
me.
How are you deciding that for yourself?
Yeah, but how do you
it's
expect...
It's a subjective thing, right?
How do you expect like an app to have humanitarian instincts? Like it's an app, like it's going to be superficial.
Correct. It's an app and it's a technology and it has a mind of its own, which is being controlled by the people at Tinder. And anyway, so the flip side of the desirability score is if someone who does not have a good desirability score, if they swipe right on you, right is the right thing, right is the accepting thing, right?
Oh,
you might be
very
knowing,
modest,
right?
Very modest.
So if they swipe right on you, then you lose points. So you become less desirable.
Hey, that sucks.
That sucks, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what.
That's the reason I never get matches.
ये जो डर का माहौल है, ये सब खत्म हो जाएगा. ये मौसम जो उदास सा है, बहुत जल्द फिर मुस्कुराएगा. तुम देखना, सब ठीक हो जाएगा.
So you are getting swiped by less desirable people based on Tinder's desirability score.
It kind of sucks overall because it's like basically relating to the deeper rooted problems in our society and all. Like, you know, the way people like people.
So this, what it makes, what happens is you become desirable or not basis the apps, basis the app. Basically, if people of low desirability have swiped on you, right on you, then your points fall. And you are not getting swiped, like accepted by people with higher desirability scores. Okay, you are only getting accepted by people with lower desirability. So you become less desirable, although you might not be. You might be actually a person who deserves more desirability.
It's such a huge problem in my life.
So according to that algorithm, you become less desirable. Is what, and
that is interesting. The desirability factor. But the thing is, my whole point about the whole this app thing is, it should never be, in my opinion, it should never be the final, like, you know, the final option for someone to find someone. It is like, think of the apps like, if people are single, and I'm mostly talking to the guys, that if you are single and you feel like you know, you should be with someone, you are not able to meet someone because probably your work schedules are different and whatever it is, apps are just an assist. It should be treated as like, okay, they are there, they might, like, everything that you get from an app is a bonus.
Apps are an assist. We are gonna give some Steph Curry, your favorite. Steph Curry's meme is gonna come up.
I like Steph Curry, but
Steph Curry meme coming up right now. Apps are assist.
Yeah, look at this pass right here by Steph.
Beautiful,
In traffic, not even really looking at KD, understanding he's ahead. Look, he throws it and then turns the other way. We're talking about
total, like, apps are not the be all and end all, and it doesn't, like, if someone, in my opinion, if someone is getting like maybe a lot of matches and likes, that doesn't mean that that person or that woman or that guy is like, oh, like, that person shouldn't be full of himself or herself because, oh, like, I'm getting so much attention, I must be really good. Like, you should be knowing yourself. And if someone is not getting a lot of matches or whatever, that doesn't mean that that person is not well deserving of someone.
Exactly, that is the thing. That is reality.
That is what the approach should be.
But that's not how this app is working. This app is
I'm talking about the people. The app is working the way the app is working. In normal human interaction, that is how it should be. That is what is reality.
Yeah. But the app is deciding on your swipes. Basis your swipes or basis who has swiped you, the app is deciding how attractive you are. So it's like a club where the bouncer is, when you're trying to get entry into the club, the bouncer is deciding, yo, you don't look good.
No, it's like, to be honest, like, it's more like
allowed inside the club.
It's more like people are being treated as inanimate objects because they're just seeing how they look, or like sometimes like they're seeing like what they're writing, which like might not be true or true, but that's the way it is. But I think the very good way to transition into our next topic is the way people look. Basically, the people are so interested in the way people look.
The camera is
don't be wrong. I mean, sorry, don't get me wrong. It's not like I am not a person who doesn't check out like a very hot girl. Or something like that. But the thing is, when I was younger, and like, I guess that was very important. I would say it's not that important to me that much like anymore.
I must give this disclaimer to the people watching. Whatever we will be discussing and whatever we have already discussed, please take it with an open mind. Okay, these are all subject, right?
No, but I think we just told them. We are not doctors, we are not psychiatrists, we are not gym trainers, we are not activists. we are just a couple of guys having conversations over here right now, and we are basically replicating our lifestyle which we had during engineering, where we used to have conversations over a cigarette and bun half fry.
अरे हम तो फकीर आदमी है, झोला लेके चल पड़ेंगे जी.
So
Bun half fry. Subjective. It's all subjective.
Yes. Yes, so I'm just saying that there's a huge thing. So as you know, I don't know how much, I don't think it is that much of a huge campaign in India, like obesity.
Mm-hmm.
But I have gone through that journey in terms of being like, as a kid and all, I was into like sports and all. So I was like pretty normal, maybe like athletic to a certain extent sometimes. And then I kind of like, became like really fat, like from like, maybe it started like from my undergrads, and then it like went on till like 2016 and all.
Right.
Where I was like just blowing up because I was eating whatever I want, I was doing whatever I want. And then I like lost a bunch of weight, and it's not about weight at all. Like basically I was not able to do a lot of basic things in life that you do very easily, like going for a run, like playing some sport or whatever. And then I kind of got into certain things, and like I like fitness, which is a very broad word, but I like to be like have an active lifestyle, I would say. So, and I'm not asserting to anyone saying like you should be doing this way, but it's very I would say it's common sense that obesity kills. And obese people or morbidly obese people, and I'm talking about like really overweight.
It's an unhealthy
people.
thing.
It's pretty unhealthy, and in US, I think it's pretty common statistic that there are a lot of obese people in the United States, and part of the reason for it is because in US the main fast food is burgers,
right,
and which is McDonald's, Wendy's, and
right.
Places like that where you get burgers for cheap,
right,
and it's very affordable. And people can have it like 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Right.
People on the go and all that. It's very convenient to eat. It's affordable, and also somewhat like apart from a few cities in the US, it's very private car or like kind of like private transport oriented culture. So you don't need to move much if you don't want to move. So that kind of like causes.
Reminds me of that. The version of Earth in the movie WALL-E.
Yeah.
There was a version of Earth where people stopped moving by themselves.
Oh, that's a very good comparison. Yeah.
That is exactly what you're talking about. That is where we are heading, is what you're saying.
We are heading, things are getting very convenient, and from an Indian perspective, I would say that it is not right out there like obesity. But it is growing. It is becoming a thing here as well, because we all know that the basically food has exploded, and I am a person who loves food, but it has exploded in such a way, and it is so accessible and easy that it's becoming a thing. But the whole thing that I wanted to talk about right now,
that obesity is definitely not what you're talking about, right?
Right now, I wanted to talk about this notion which is there primarily like in America, but it's there in India, but it's not coined. No term has been coined properly, but it's basically the difference between fat acceptance versus body positivity.
Right.
Okay. So what is fat acceptance and what is body positivity? In my opinion, fat acceptance is basically be happy in terms of being fat. That's what it means, and like I feel like there are certain conditions that a person might have physically which inhibits people to not work out or be take care of themselves. But mostly, I'm talking about the majority of the people. They just don't choose to do it because number one, it might sound harsh, but it is simple. They are lazy. Number two, it is very easy to be in denial by saying like, you know, I accept. Who are you to judge? And yeah, no one should be judging people on that account. But I mean, I think there are different ways of taking in accountability.
But that's interesting. I mean, because I'm seeing all these body positive campaigns, right? Where there are a lot of models who are, like, for lack of a better word, and don't hold me to it again, overweight, okay, and obese for that matter. I don't have better terms to use, and hence
They are the terms.
No offense meant, but I see a lot of. I mean, I'm just a layman, common man here, just expressing my opinions. Shoot me if you want.
Unlock your phone. I want to check something.
But I'm saying, interesting thing is there are a lot of body positive campaigns, right? Where people talk about their like models who are obese or overweight, etc. But then again, what you're saying, fat acceptance, okay, fine, fat acceptance, accepting oneself like that, etc., whatever. But then if you look at the unhealthy part of obesity, it's a conflict, isn't it? Like, people are saying that it's unhealthy to be obese because 1, 2, 3, 4 health conditions might be there. Okay, then on the other hand, people are saying, okay, let's accept ourselves as fat people and let us flaunt it in ad campaigns.
So this is the thing, body positivity.
So what's that's the conflict.
So the origin for body positivity is totally. It started out as something else, but now the lines between fat acceptance and body positivity is almost not there.
Right.
But body positivity started out as being, don't be insecure about your physique. You can be skinny, you can be fat.
Correct.
You can have different skin tones. Okay,
right.
You can have different kind of skin textures, whatever. You might be bald, you might have hair. So body positivity is like accept and don't be insecure.
Right.
Okay, but now fat acceptance is what is fat acceptance I talked about. But now what has happened is body positivity, as you were saying, is being flaunted by models and all. So I don't have any issues with
but I see it mostly, what you said was absolutely correct, that body positivity can be about anything about your body, whether you're skinny or you're dark colored or you don't have hair. You should flaunt it and be secure about it. That's body positivity. But I think the way people are taking it right now is more about the obesity. So
I don't have any problem of looking at an obese model representing a product. Okay, whatever it is, I don't have any problem with the strategy of like the brand and all that.
Right.
The problem that I have with these people is that the way they showcase themselves in media or in light, they don't reflect the day-to-day struggles they have as a morbidly obese person. They make it look like it's a dream.
Okay,
and
all right.
A morbidly obese person have a lot of problems which me and you might not be able to even think.
Comprehend.
Like in terms of getting up from a seat, walking half a mile or whatever it is. Like there are different struggles, and that I have heard from actual people who have gone through this journey and became like fitter or whatever, have gone through. And the problem they even spoke about at one point of time, because our society is generally cruel and has a bullying tendency. A person who is overweight at like a very vulnerable age, like as a teenager or something, is kind of taunted and bullied a lot.
Of course.
Of his or her weight, and that person then goes to see one of these models who are kind of flaunting a picture perfect life, like you can do whatever, this is all good, like I'll become fatter, it doesn't matter. And they kind of believe that at a vulnerable age, and that is a very dangerous thing, because there is no two ways about it. If you are morbidly obese, it's as good as you're being suicidal.
Or obese, yeah.
No.
Morbidly obese is so definitely you're inviting death.
I love you so much.
That's like an alcoholic loving cirrhosis of the liver.
Eating more and more food at that stage of time is basically you're killing yourself. Like
it's a conflicting thing, but yeah, what you're saying
it is.
interesting.
It is. there's no two ways around it. Like medically, scientifically, if you're talking about someone who is say 100 kgs overweight, okay, from their normal weight, I'm talking about normally obese and obese people, and maybe like 200 pounds overweight, that you are basically killing yourself. And at that age where you basically absorb things like a sponge, when you get exposed to people like those body positive models who are flaunting as if there's no problem, you kind of think that is the way, and you kind of like, you know, your well-wishers and all, you just put them like, you become defensive. And I was nowhere close to morbidly obese or whatever, but I also had that tendency internally. There are like some passive aggressive people, there are some aggressive people. I was the passive aggressive kind. So if someone I don't know that well, or even if I know sometimes that well, passes a comment or thing like, like you are like it's so surprising you can still play football or whatever, or like, you know, man, your double chin is crazy or something. And I have gotten all those things. Like,
where did that come from?
Like, yeah, I mean, oh my god, like how are you getting up from the floor, like, you know. So it's just taunting, like, you know, bros and all in college, like, you know, just having a light banter. They're all good people. And even those small things sometimes will have like give me like this hint of like, not a lot, but hint of anger or something. And like, I'll eat what I want to eat. I don't give this. I don't give a is the most deceptive emotion a human being can have, dude. Right. I think you should.
I mean, when it comes to
you're in denial.
Correct. When it comes to your body, I mean, you don't. Maybe I'm not giving a works in many ways. But when it comes to your own body, I'm not sure. Listening to what you're saying, I'm not sure, and I'm breaking my head. I mean, to understand what is why the glorification is working right now with people. I mean, how is it working? I mean, you know what you just said, and you know somebody is flaunting that, and then you are getting inspired from it, and then you're thinking that if it, you know.
No, but think about it. Yeah. When you are growing up, like say when you are growing up, okay, and you're watching like whatever, like you're watching Kyrie Irving, like no, when you're growing up, you're watching maybe a good basketball player, like, or you're watching a good tennis player play crazy tennis, and you feel like you want to play tennis or you want to play basketball,
right?
Okay, now you go to the basketball practice, you go to the tennis practice. And then you're like, oh shit, this thing is not that easy. Or like you need some crazy level of determination, practice and repetition. And repetitions. And repetitions. To get good. Talent is not good enough. Like you need to put in it's a different mindset. It's a different mentality. Many people do not have it, or else everyone would have been very good at most things, right?
Right.
So rather than that, if you see someone who's saying like you can eat whatever you want and you look great, which one is easier? As a teenager, if you have like a average mindset, what will you fall for? You're like, yeah, I love food. So eating is easy. So why shouldn't I eat?
Right.
It's a eating disorder.
So it's not just the ad campaigns that I'm seeing. It's not just that. It's more of a culture, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying if
a
body positive model is a celebrity. A tennis player is a celebrity, right? But it's easier to eat than play good tennis. And if you are into food, so you will get. So these models in a way are more influential. So they're more influential. Whatever they do, whatever they teach. So if a body positive model is coming and saying, like, see, yeah, I do not judge fat people, which is totally right. I do not discriminate against people with weight or anything like that. But I do face these problems from my day to day, or like I do have issues with certain things. My life is not perfect.
Keeping it real,
yeah, because there are a lot of body positive models who have just shown like, you know, I go to the gym and this, that and all, and they just do it for like a couple of shoots just to get like it's even verified. I'm forgetting the name of the model, but yeah.
I'm breaking my head to understand. So what is there is there talent, like how a tennis player's talent is playing tennis?
Yeah.
But what is that talent, courage, bravery? Is that
No, their talent-
what they're known, like what? Okay,
On pace, their talent is confidence.
Confidence, yes.
And be like unapologetically confident about their bodies, which is a talent, which is a good quality.
right.
But at the end of the day, the thing which bothers me is that they really affect lives, and there's very few. Like even someone was telling me, it's more important to teach people the difference in nutrition and how you do it at a younger age and all that, rather than have sex education and all that. Like you will just figure it out. Like it's like not rocket science. Sex education, nutrition is a little complicated.
Right.
Your cravings and all that.
Right.
But yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, interesting. I like that, and so I think that brings us towards the end of our first podcast. We spoke about getting rated by dating apps.
Yeah,
and
desirability.
Getting judged by dating apps, and basis that getting your best matches, which are not the best clearly. We also spoke about fat acceptance and body positivity, which sort of I'm still like in my mind I'm trying to still think why it's glorified so much. I do understand being confident, but
no, it's not glorified. The thing is, when you are obese, and it's a market, right? It's again a market. Being a creator, like being a writer for an ad agency, you do understand markets. I'm sure people understand. Like it's a target market. So there's a market for obese and morbidly obese people. So if you have like a champion for them, it'll sell a lot of products, right? But the problem that I have is these people are vulnerable. Like you're literally exploiting people's health in a way which is like very fatal. So that's all.
So brilliant. I love that this thing. I'm still. Maybe we will talk about these two things more later in our other podcasts.
Yeah.
For now, bun half fry. We have just started it off, and these are the kind of things we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you can leave some comments on the kind of things that you want us to talk about, or the kind of, if you have some comments and opinions about what we spoke, if we are wrong, if we are judgmental, please go ahead and share that in the comments. It would be great if you can like and subscribe our handle right now, because obviously we don't have any following, I'm guessing, apart from our friends and family.
Yeah, this is our first episode, and we are talking about this like before we editing and everything.
So we'll definitely keep it real as possible, and bring humor and fun out of that realness and not make it too fake. I hate that.
Yeah, I hate fake, but you kind of did some math there. It was like step 1, step 2, step 3. Like humor is there.
I'm a methodical person.
Okay.
So till next time, signing off. It's me, Joy, and Shomo.
Yeah.
One half right.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.